What's up guys, this is Simon, and today we're here in Japan taking a look at the new GoPro Hero 5 Black. First of all, the hardware on this camera is completely different than any other GoPro in the past. The camera is completely waterproof without a housing, which is a very useful feature. As you can see, they've switched out the buttons a bit, and the front power and the mode button has been moved to the side, and there's no longer a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth button. And one of my favorite things about this camera is the screen on the back, which is tremendously useful. Before, it was only available on the Hero 4 Silver, which didn't have the Pro video features and the 4K and the higher frame rates that the Hero 4 Black Edition had. The camera also has new microphones, which are a lot better than the previous models. In terms of the actual image you'll be getting out of this thing, it's actually almost exactly the same as the Hero 4 Black Edition. It's the exact same sensor, so it'll have most of the same resolutions and frame rates, which will be up here. One thing they added though is the feature of stabilization, which is very useful for a lot of scenarios in which the camera would be shaking a lot. On top of that, they also added RAW photos and HDR photos, which, in my opinion, I really love RAW photos. Coming from the Hero 3 Black, one thing I really didn't like was editing the JPEG photos out of it. So here we have a RAW photo taken by the GoPro, and if we zoom in and adjust the exposure, you can see just how much of the highlights are preserved when you bring down the exposure. Moving on to a JPEG photo, however, if we try to do the same thing, the details aren't there and the highlights are lost. Here we can see an HDR photo compared to a normal JPEG photo, and there are more details in the highlights. However, the difference isn't huge, and I personally won't be using this since I'll be using RAW photos instead. Another really useful feature they added is voice control, and at first I thought this was kind of a gimmick, but when you're up in the ski hills or doing anything and say the GoPro is mounted on top of your helmet, it's really hard to access the settings, and when you're just able to say, oh, GoPro, turn on, it's really, really useful. And it actually enables you to shoot a lot more stuff up on the mountain because you're no longer thinking about, oh, I need to switch modes, I need to do this. You just tell the GoPro what you want it to do when it does it, which in my opinion is really useful. So that's the main thing I like about this camera, is how easy it is to use. And or for me, coming from the Hero 3 Black, the picture quality and that is also a lot better. But if you come from, say, a Hero 4 Black and you're thinking about upgrading, you really need to think about if the convenience is worth it for you. Because what I really like about this camera is, as I said, how easy it is to use. You can use voice control to turn it on and off, and also the waterproofing without a housing, and the touchscreen on the back, which that's what you really need to consider if the convenience is worth the extra bucks. I know this is a bit of a different video, but if you liked it, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.